Okay, so starting with your dozen a day, but just before that, I'm just going to mention your scales and broken chords. I have a few times mentioned or asked if you could slow them down a little bit. Okay, I know you like to do them a bit quicker, but what we need is to aim for more even flowing playing. Okay, with nice joined up notes, especially the turns. You don't want the turns to be bumpy like that, or not quite joined. All right, so we'll work at that when we come back to lessons properly. It'd be much easier, but if you can really try and just slow them down just a little bit so that they go along nice and evenly and without too many wrong notes in them as well. Now, your dozen a day. So running up a hill, I think again you need to go a bit slower at the moment. All right, speed is the last thing you put in your music. Okay, we start slowly and get the notes learned first. I've noticed that when you move along, you don't move directly to the black key. All right, so there's 2 bars and the B flat as well, I suppose, but where you need to put your fingers on black keys. All right, so just practice the first 5 notes, then the second 5 notes, and then the next group we've got 2 black keys. And you notice my hands go straight to the black keys as well, because it's part of that group of notes. So what you don't want to do is, sorry, slow down a bit, is when you move along, you start it and then, oh, I've got to think about putting my finger on the black key. It will immediately interrupt what you're playing. So as soon as you move your hand along, so now when I move along, I've already got my finger straight on the black key. Okay, so it means just a little bit of thinking ahead, and the next one's probably the hardest because you've got to get your fingers on 2 black keys. And then the next one, of course, you've got to get the B flat in place. So it's no good starting like that and then suddenly thinking about it. All right, it will sort of cause a disturbance in what you're playing. All right, try to move along and get your finger straight away on the black key. So you need to think about being further over the keys a bit more. All right, that's particularly this one, running up a hill, because you are using all of the notes in succession. So some of the other ones where it's just the chords, like the B flat, it doesn't use the chord. The chord doesn't use the B flat, and in this chord here it doesn't use both black keys, F sharp and G sharp. It only uses the G sharp. So this one is more difficult because you are using all of the notes and all of the black keys, or all of the flats and sharps. So that's why it's taking a little bit longer to learn. But try and think ahead, and as soon as you move your hand, move the whole hand to include whatever black keys that you need. So maybe look at where you need to position your fingers for that one. Now we're moving on to cartwheels. All right, sorry, itchy nose. Now this one, I'll try to explain that when you bring your left hand over to the C, move your right hand along, ready for the next chord, the next bar. Move the right hand along. Can you see what I'm doing? So watch my right hand, move it along. Move it along. And so on. Okay? And again, when I do move my hand, I move to include the black key. Include the black key. All right, so think about that. Try and use that when you're playing this cartwheels.